The Johnny Cash story is a story of perseverance and resilience. And I'm going to admit, when I was younger, I had heard of him. You know, he was my parents' age, but he was a country singer, at least the kind of country they had back then. Um, so I didn't really know any of his songs. I mean, any of his songs until I saw that movie Walk the Line. And I wouldn't have even watched the movie had I not heard how good it was. And I don't remember who told me, but it was somebody I trusted. And I was like, that movie? Johnny Cash? Johnny Cash? Yeah. Although he was on Columbo. He was on Columbo, and I'm a Columbo lover, and I was watching old Columbo shows, and I remember he was on that. But and that's the only reason I even knew what he looked like. Um, and so maybe that also got me interested when the movie came out. But it was it was a fascinating story of this guy who's at the top of his field, you know, famous, making music, but he couldn't control the demons. And you listen to, some of his interviews that you can go watch on YouTube, and he talks about whatever drug there was at the time, he was taking it, and he couldn't stop, and he couldn't stop. Fame, the fortune, none of that. He couldn't stop. And so this is perfect behavior box material because quitting was not in his behavior box. You can think outside the box, but you can't act outside it. You can only act according to your self image. And willpower is not enough. In most cases, willpower is not enough. You can try. You can try to use willpower only. But when it comes to addiction, you also have, um, you know, you have cravings and your body is doing things that also make you want to. But still, the thoughts that come to mind, because even when there's a craving, you're thinking something. Those thoughts are what really gets to you. Because, yeah, your body is craving something, but the thoughts that go along with it, immediately, you're going to start thinking, oh, you'll never quit. You're just a druggie. You're destined to die this way. You're destined to be on this drug the rest of your life. Who are you trying to, who, you know what I mean? Who are you trying to fool? You'll always be this way. Those are the thoughts that your subconscious will feed to you when you try to quit and you've tried before. Because if you try to quit and, you quit, then that was never necessarily out of your behavior box. But it's kind of like the story I did on Dale Earnhardt. He had failed, hadn't won the Daytona 500 ever, and he was at the top of his game. Hadn't won it. So that does something to your psyche. That does something to your psyche. You become to see yourself as that person who can't do that. And that's when it's in your behavior box. But all behavior is learned, and all behavior can be relearned. It can be changed. Think about it. No one is born a racist. It's learned behavior. But it can be unlearned. And so whatever you think you are, you're going to act that way. You're going to act that way, and acting differently is going to be difficult because it's not in your behavior box. It's not in your behavior code. We all have a code which is based on our self-image. That code is just like a robot. You have to follow the code. Or the robot does whatever it's in its code. The app on your computer, the app on your phone is written by code. It's controlled by a code. When you press this button, this is what you know is going to happen. It's not random. This is what you know is going to happen. And so we have a behavior code. So your code right now says you can only act a certain way. Now you can try. It's not written. It's a code, but it's not a real code. You can try, but it's not. But eventually, your subconscious is going to feed you those negative thoughts, and you're going to quit. whatever it is you're trying to do. Even if you're trying to quit smoking or something, if it's not in your behavior box, the negative thoughts that your subconscious is going to, you try to quit, your subconscious is going to beat you down with negative thoughts. It is going to bombard you with negative thoughts. You know, when you're sitting there, first of all, the moment you say you're going to quit, those thoughts are going to come to you. And every day that you're quitting, if it's been 1 day, 2 days, your subconscious, it's right there telling you. It's like looking at you. You ready to quit yet? You ready to quit yet? Is today the day? You gonna give up today, huh? You gonna give up today? Is today the day? You know it. You've heard it before. I talked in the video prior to this. Thought trash. Write it, ball it up, throw it away. Throw it in the thought trash. But with mind surgery and the behavior box, we actually change your behavior code. So you're not relying on willpower. Now the action becomes automatic. So in the case of Johnny, he's trying to quit these addictions, and finally he hit rock bottom. If you hear his story, he walked into a cave, he was high, and he came out, and it was his wife. She said, "Are you dead yet?" And he said, "I want to live. I want to live." And so he, this particular time, he did it. And so what I'm telling you is, you can do it as well. Now, he didn't use mind surgery, eventually that probably was willpower. But at some point when he made up his mind, there still were going to be negative thoughts. And so was he able to control that? I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I haven't interviewed him. But I'm telling you, you've got to deal with those thoughts. And with mind surgery and the behavior box, we eliminate it. Because when you change your code, your subconscious, now it's in your box. See, your subconscious only messes with you and sends you all those thoughts when it's not in your box, when it's not in your code. But when you rewrite your code, your subconscious is like a bouncer. He's like, you want to do something? You want to lose weight? He checks. Is this in your code? Nope. Sorry, can't do it. Other people, they want to lose weight. If it's in your code, he checks the code. Yeah, go ahead. So when it's not in your code, the bouncer, your subconscious, is going to mess with you until you quit or give up whatever it is you're trying. That's where the friction is. Again, if it's in your code, you're free. You see what I'm saying? If you're the kind of person who works out, your subconscious isn't sending you negative thoughts about that. It's going to send you negative thoughts about the opposite when you're not working out. If you haven't worked out in a week or two, your subconscious is going to talk to you. Hey, man, what are you doing? You haven't worked out in what are you doing, man? You're being lazy. Get up. If you try not to work out, your subconscious is going to talk to you. So your subconscious doesn't care whether it's actually something good you're trying or something bad. Your subconscious wants to keep the status quo. You understand? So in this case, if you work out all the time, that's your status quo. That's what's in your behavior box. That's what's on in your behavior code. So your subconscious wants to keep you working out. And when you get lazy and don't, your subconscious is going to say, oh, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? You're just going to sit on the couch all day? You haven't worked out all week. It'll talk to you. It'll bombard you, but with a different type of thoughts. Whereas the person who doesn't work out and they want to start, their subconscious is going to tell them something completely different. But either way, the subconscious is bombarding you with thoughts so that you stay in your box. You can think outside the box, but you can't act outside.